Hello, welcome back to Ms. Bell's classroom. Today in class, what we're going to talk about are the 50 states, and I'm going to be talking about a famous or iconic landmark in each state. And so these, obviously there are more for each state, but I'm just going to talk about one for each state and what, when people think of that state, what they can think of or where you might go if you visit that state. So it might be a popular tourist spot, it might be a landmark or a memorial. I'm going to go in alphabetical order today. And the first state we're going to start with is Alabama. And a popular landmark there is the USS Alabama battleship. And so the USS Alabama was a noble career it had a noble career in World War II, and it's now permanently moored in Mobile Bay, serving as a museum ship. And it measures half as long as the Empire State Building. It's had millions of visitors since it's been there. Okay, the next state is Alaska. And Alaska's famous landmark is Denali, and it soars over 20,000 feet, making it North America's highest peak. It is such a popular photo op that Alaska's tourism agency has a whole page explaining how to snap a good shot at the mountain. After Alaska is Arizona, and the iconic landmark in Arizona is the Grand Canyon, and it is was named a national monument in 1908 and then a national park in 1919. It is a true American icon, from the Griswolds National Lampoon's Vacation to the Brady Bunch. It's a huge bucket list item. It's one of the best places on Earth to watch the sunrise. Okay, and the next state is Arkansas. Hot Springs National Park. And Arkansas brags that it is the natural state, and Hot Springs National Parks just confirms that nickname. It's devoted to 47 geothermal springs that bubble out of Hot Springs Mountain. You can swim in them. At an average of 143 degrees, they are too hot, but you can photograph them. So you can't swim in them, but you can photograph them. You can even fill bottles of water to take home. So for California, one of the famous icons is the Golden Gate Bridge. So California has lots of landmarks, like the Hollywood sign or Disneyland. But the Golden Gate is kind of a big one that you think of when you think of California, and it's an iconic bridge connecting the city by the bay with the Marin County. Okay, the next one is Colorado, Red Rocks Park. Just like California, there are many marvelous places in Colorado, but the Red Rock Park is one of the more iconic ones. It has natural beauty. It's in Morrison, Colorado, and it's known for its stunning ancient red sandstone outcroppings, in addition to many hiking trails and numerous photo opportunities. Connecticut. There is known for Yale University. And Yale University is very beautiful. It was established in 1701, decades before the United States of America even became a nation. The New Haven School offers free student-led tours of its impressive and diverse campus. With soaring towers and ornate gates, it's one of the most beautiful college campuses in America. Okay, so next is Delaware. And Delaware is known for Kalmar nickel. And that Kalmar nickel is one of America's pioneering colonial ships. The original was one of a kind in 1638. The impressive tail ship is docked at the Titania and Jared Copeland Maritime Center of Christina River in downtown Wilmington. Florida is famous for Walt Disney World's Cinderella Castle. So America may not have real-life castles that can be found elsewhere in the world, but the one at Walt Disney World still enchants. The 189-foot tall Cinderella Castle has welcomed millions of visitors to Magic Kingdom with its lofty spires and turrets as a symbol of the park. The next state is Georgia. Georgia is famous for Georgia has the famous Stone Mountain, and Stone Mountain Park, with its isolated mountain more than 1,000 feet above sea level, is the Peach State's most popular destination. But it is not without controversy. The mountain features a carving of 3 Confederates, but it is said to be the largest high-relief sculpture in the world. There have been numerous calls for the large carving to be removed. The park itself has numerous other attractions as well. For Hawaii, a popular attraction is the Pearl Harbor USS Arizona Memorial. And it was the infamous December day in 1941 when Japan attacked an unsuspecting Hawaiian naval base, bringing the U.S. into World War II. Hawaii may be home to the most beautiful coastlines in the world, but one of its top attractions remains the somber and reverent USS Arizona Memorial at Pearl Harbor. Here, visitors can view the remains of the sunken battleship and read the names of those who were forever lost. The next state is Idaho, and a popular attraction in Idaho is Craters of the Moon National Monument. So, Idaho's Craters of the Moon National Monument and Preserve may be the next best thing to stepping on the moon. NASA's astronauts studied the land to prepare for moon trips. The must-see weird and wonderful landscape of dormant volcanoes features lava beds and tubes, cinder and spatter cones. Illinois is known for the Willis Tower. Many Americans still think of it as the Sears Tower, but Chicago's tallest skyscraper is officially named the Willis Tower. It stands 1,450 feet high above the city and boasts 110 stories. On a clear day, visitors can see 4 states from its observation deck. If you're brave, you can step out on the ledge, a glass balcony that extends 4 feet outside of the 103rd floor. Okay, so our next state is Indiana, and a famous attraction in Indiana is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So it is home of the famous Indy 500. And how huge is this track? Its permanent seating capacity of more than 240,000 is said to be the largest of any sports venue in the world. On the grounds of the track, you can visit the Associated Museum and Hall of Fame. Okay, the next state is Iowa, and a popular attraction in Iowa is Field of Dreams. The Field of Dreams is known for the movie Field of Dreams. So now fans of the movies can come tour the Dyersville farm and field where the Oscar-nominated film was shot. It's one of many movie filming locations that people can actually visit. A popular attraction in Kansas is the world's largest ball of twine. So, the largest ball of twine is located in Cawker City, Kansas, and the ball is said to weigh about 20,000 pounds. In Kentucky, our next state, a famous attraction there is Churchill Downs. And Churchill Downs is known for the famous Kentucky Derby. Louisiana is known for the famous French Quarter. So there's one-of-a-kind homes, wrought iron balconies, music, mouth-watering restaurants, and historic parks. The crown jewel of the city, the French Quarter, was founded in 1718, and its quintessential New Orleans image that pops into most minds. In Maine, a famous attraction is Portland Headlight. And Portland Headlight is a historic lighthouse in Cape Elizabeth. Exemplifies Maine's classic New England beauty and picturesque coastline. Portland Headlight is Maine's oldest lighthouse, with the first lighting dating to 1791. You can hike, fly kites, take tours, and visit the museum located within the former keeper's quarters. And our next state is Maryland, and a famous attraction in Maryland is Fort McHenry. So at Baltimore's Fort McHenry, the famous Star-Spangled Banner was inspired from here. During the War of 1812, the fort is preserved today as Fort McHenry National Monument and Historic Shrine. It offers historic exhibits, living history programs, and military ceremonies. So next is Massachusetts, and a famous attraction in Massachusetts is the Freedom Trail. And the Freedom Trail allows you to follow in the footsteps of the Founding Fathers in Boston. And the 2.5-mile red line of the Freedom Trail takes visitors to 16 sites that are significant to more than 250 years of the nation's history. It includes museums, churches, burying grounds, and even a ship that can tell the tale of the American Revolution. In Michigan is Mackinac Island. So at Michigan's Mackinac Island, almost all cars are banned in this historic place. The entire island is listed as a National Historic Landmark. So it has one of the oldest hotels in America and one of the world's largest front porches at 660 feet. Minnesota, a famous landmark for place is the Mall of America. At 96 acres of retail space, Mall of America in Minneapolis. There are more than 500 stores, an aquarium, mini golf course, movie theaters, amusement parks. Our next state is Mississippi, and a famous place in Mississippi is Elvis Presley birthplace in Tupelo, Mississippi. It's a 2-room shotgun shack where musical legend Elvis Presley was born. In Missouri, famous Gateway Arch in St. Louis. You can see there. So it is an elegant structure that was completed in 1965 and is the tallest man-made monument in the U.S., standing 630 feet high. In Montana, it's Going to the Sun Road. So the very name Going to the Sun Road hints at the breathtaking views of this 50-mile mountain road that is located in Montana's Glaciers National Park. It's one of the most underrated tourist spots in the world. Nebraska, a famous place is Chimney Rock National Historic Site. So this was a historic site for early American pioneers heading west. In Nevada, a famous place is the Las Vegas Strip. With its flashy lights, expensive restaurants, nice hotels, colorful landmarks, it is a great place to take photos. Next state is New Hampshire, and a famous place in New Hampshire is Mount Washington Cog Railway. So at this landmark you can ride the rails with a trip on New Hampshire's Mount Washington Cog Railway, the first mountain climbing railway in the world. So you can take a 3-hour ride up the western slope of the majestic mountain. New Jersey's famous landmark is Cape May Lighthouse. So you are able to climb the 199 spiral staircase, and you'll be able to get a panoramic view at the top. New Mexico, a famous landmark is Carlsbad Caverns. So this is a national park located in the Guadalupe Mountains of southeastern New Mexico. It's a natural limestone chamber that is considered to be the largest single cave chamber by volume in North America. New York, a famous iconic landmark is the Statue of Liberty. So it's not just a symbol of New York, but a symbol of America. It's one of the most popular American tourist destinations. It's given to the people from France. North Carolina, a famous landmark is Biltmore Estate. So this house is the size of 4 football fields and has 35 bedrooms and 43 bathrooms. It's considered one of the biggest mansions in the United States. So it was once the family home of George and Edith Vanderbilt. It's still owned by their descendants today. It's still stocked with items from the original owners. In North Dakota, a famous landmark is the world's largest buffalo monument. So this is a 26-foot tall, 60-ton concrete animal that has been standing since 1959. Ohio, a famous place is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So that's in Cleveland, and it's a musical must visit. Oklahoma, a famous place to visit is Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum. So this memorial pays tribute to those who were affected by the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing, which killed 168 people, including 19 children. It is open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. In Oregon, a famous landmark is Crater Lake, and this was formed over 7,000 years ago by the collapse of a giant peak. It's a stunning blue crater lake. It's now the country's deepest lake and one of the most photogenic. Pennsylvania, it is the Liberty Bell. So Philadelphia's Liberty Bell, famous Crack and All, is an iconic symbol of American independence. Today you are able to view the bell for free. Rhode Island, famous landmark is the Breakers, and it has one of the nation's largest homes, Newport Mansion. The Breakers was completed in 1895 as the summer home of Vanderbilt family. 70-room Italian Renaissance mansion, the enormous waterfront house with wildly ornate interiors is designed a National Historic Landmark. South Carolina, a famous landmark is Fort Sumter. So at Charleston's Fort Sumter, the first shot of the American Civil War was fired in 1861. Today, more than 150 years later, it is restored and it is open to the public. In South Dakota, a famous landmark is Mount Rushmore National Memorial. And many Americans know about Mount Rushmore. So it's visited by almost 3 million people a year. It has the heads of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. Okay, our next state is Tennessee, and a famous landmark in Tennessee is the Grand Ole Opry, and it is the heart of country music. It's Nashville's #1 attraction, and it's a very famous stage for country music. Texas, a famous landmark is the Alamo. So this is where the famous mission where Dave Crockett, Jim Bowie, and others died in the legendary 1836 battle for Texas independence. So it's a historic church where many gave their lives. In Utah, it's the Arches National Park. So it's known for more than 2,000 natural stone arches that fill the park. It has red rocks, and sometimes the land formations are unbelievable. state is Vermont. So Vermont boasts over 100 covered bridges, giving it the highest number per square mile in the US. So one classic is the Henry Covered Bridge that crosses Walloomsac River near Bennington. Virginia, a famous landmark is the Arlington National Cemetery. So many famous Americans are buried here, including President John F. Kennedy, his brothers Robert and Teddy, civil rights activist Medgar Evers, boxer Joe Louis, astronaut John Glenn, and many more. Photos are allowed, but you must be respectful. And our next state is Washington, and the Space Needle is a famous landmark there. And it was built for 1962 World Fair. It soars 605 feet above Emerald City. In Washington, D.C., the White House is a famous landmark, the official residence of the president. In West Virginia, a famous landmark is Andrews Methodist Episcopal Church. So it is considered the Mother Church of Mother's Day. In Wisconsin, Frank Lloyd Wright's Towson East is a famous icon, and Frank Lloyd Wright is the legendary architect, and he designed a stunning home and studio south of Spring Green, Wisconsin. And last is Wyoming, and a famous landmark in Wyoming is Old Faithful Geyser. So in Wyoming's Yellowstone National Park, good things come to those who wait. Travelers may have to bide their time until the geyser known as Old Faithful blows its top. But every 44 minutes to 2 hours, they're sure to get their impressive photo op. It shoots boiling water up to 180 feet high, but just for a few minutes at a time. That is all that I have for you today. If you have any other iconic landmarks that you know of in your state or that you've been to, let me know, and I will talk to you all later. Thanks for listening today. Goodbye.